Just so you know, this game doesn't like being alt-tabbed all too much. If you do it a little too much, it might crash. Whether or not that's just me or not, I don't know.
I don't know, but this fucking 400 by 800 resolution needs to change.
Yeah. It goes to the bottom of the barrel when you first load it.
Oh, excuse me, 1024 by 768.
Well, maybe not the bottom of the barrel then. So
Holy
yeah.
shit, I don't think this UI was designed for 2K.
Oh, you got a 2K monitor. Wow.
Yeah,
Fancy.
By 1440, 444 hertz, bro.
Yeah. I stick with 1080 because I got a monitor that's been working for over 10 years.
Fidelity.
Yeah. This monitor's been good, so I haven't bothered buying a new one. And it's worked for about 10 years, so I like it. I'll buy a new one when it breaks.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so the first time I played this with Ra, he told me he knew how to play it, but let's just say he didn't do too good.
Mm.
Yeah, I was under the assumption that he'd actually knew what he was doing, so I'm gonna do a 1 versus 1 and give you a bit more of a tutorial than I gave him. Because I just threw him into a 2 versus 2 on AI. And the idea was one of the AI would be super defensive, the other one was like adaptive. And we were winning. We had basically won the game, but because I totally forgot about the nuclear option for AI, I built this like forward artillery position outside of my base. It had like all this strong artillery and like anti-air and a whole ton of shit. And the AI launched nukes, and I tried to get the hell out of there, but of course I walked too slow. So I got nuked, and that was pretty much game over. Because once your commander dies, your entire army and base die on the assassination option. So everything of mine got destroyed, and Ra was left pretty much screwed. Because I had done all the defenses, cleared out all these areas, but I didn't touch the enemy's base because I wanted him to finish him off. And the moment I got nuked, it was all over. I'd built anti-nuke defenses and stuff, but not in that forward artillery position. So that kind of screwed us both.
Yeah.
Of course, that was the first nuke they launched too. They hadn't done any before that, so I totally forgot about it. Because the first nuke they launched was right where I was. So that really screwed me up.
So, how do we join?
I'll just send you an invite.
Okay.
Oh wait, shit. I've set up a offline game. I need to go to multiplayer to do it. Used to hitting the skirmish button, not multiplayer. Alright, I'll send you an invite. If I can remember how to do that with this new interface. There we go. Did you get the invite?
Yes. I clicked accept, but it didn't take me anywhere.
Alright, go to multiplayer,
Yeah.
multiplayer online, and then just do the thing that says friends only.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Alright, so the 4 different factions have slightly different things. The blue icon is the UEF. They're more defensive in their structures. The green Aeon is probably the best naval army. The red Cybran is probably the best when it comes to air. And the yellow-orange Seraphim is best when it comes to land armies because it's got the strongest tanks as well as experimental assault walkers. At least that's the way I feel about each race and faction. So unless you want to just stick to random.
How do I change my faction?
Yeah, click on the one with the 4 different colors, and then you can choose one of the 4 icons.
Dude, honestly, I'm just gonna go random because I don't know anyone. So what's the point?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Where's the explored? There we go. Oh, it's just explored. I can't make it total map view to help. Alright, just hit the thing where it says ready. Unless you want to change your color away from red.
No, that's fine.
Alright. So I chose this 2v2 map because it's the only one I think with water in it. So you can get a feel for all 3 of the main ways of combat. Alright, so the first thing you're probably going to do is get a mass extractor. When you click on your commander unit, it's divided into 3 things. It'll have structures, resourcing, and then defensive structures. It should be divided up into. So one will be a mass extractor, which can only go on certain points. And then one's an energy generator.
It was on sale at one, but not at the other, but they didn't have any, so I'm going to have a look at Coles on Monday for you.
Alright. So there's 2 kinds of resources you'll see in the top right corner. The green one is mass, the red, orangey one is energy. You'll always need more mass than energy, because energy is easier to get. I'll be able to better guide you once I get some scouts in the air so I can see what you're doing. Because I've been playing this kind of game since I was about 8 or 10, when the first game of its kind was Total Annihilation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was the first one of this kind where it had mass, energy, infinite resources of a kind. And you could just build massive armies and radar and all that kind of stuff. And you can actually get Total Annihilation on Steam for like $5 or something, I think.
Planetary, whatever?
Planetary Annihilation is its spiritual successor because it's a lot more close to what Total Annihilation originally was.
Yeah, I played that. I have that.
Yeah, that's... Planetary Annihilation is pretty much what this is. And Planetary Annihilation came after this. So if you treat it like Planetary Annihilation, you'll have a bit better at what you're doing.
It's kind of felt familiar in that sense.
Yeah.
Is there a mini-map?
If you... hold on, there's one thing I can do to change something, if I can remember what it is. There's like a way of changing the way your UI is. There we go. In the top left corner, there'll be a...
You can just zoom out.
Yeah. In the top left corner, you can actually have a mini-map. In the top left corner, you'll see like a little globe with a whole ton of icons. That globe is... will bring up a mini-map. It'll bring up an actual mini-map.
Oh, okay.
But the biggest difference between this and Planetary Annihilation is, well, it has 3 different factions. it's a lot harder to get the mass than it is energy, so it'll take a bit longer to get some stuff done. Not to mention experimental units are a much bigger thing in this and far more powerful. Not to mention, also in this, defenses are far more powerful as well.
Interesting. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that.
Why?
Fuck
What did you
me.
do?
I meant to make a land facility and I made 2 air facilities.
Oh, yeah. Would you stop shooting down me scouts?
Oh, I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, you built an air unit first.
Yeah, you just said you were gonna scout me out. So I was like, haha, I'm gonna show this guy.
Well, I made the scouts so I could help better. But
No, I know, you're fine.
yeah,
I mean, I think I know how to play the game like this. This seems pretty,
yeah. Well, if you've played enough Planetary Annihilation, you'll probably
yeah,
be a
I've
bit
played
better
lot
than.
of Planetary Annihilation.
Yeah, you'll probably be better off than Ra was, anyway. The biggest thing you're gonna want to do once you've got some resources up is upgrade your command unit's engineering capacity. So when you click on him, you'll see like a torso of the commander. If you click on that, and then you can customize its upgrades. If you click on the left arm, you'll have a engineering upgrade thing that lets you build tier 2 and then eventually tier 3 as well.
You're talking about... Where's that at?
Click on your commander.
Enhancements?
Yeah, enhancements, and then the left arm is better engineering stuff. So that, if you do that, it'll let you go up to tier 2. Also, to increase the efficiency of your mass extractors, you'll need to surround them by mass storage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you put 4 mass storage around them, it'll increase the amount that they extract.
Well, that's Tech 2. That's Tier 2, right?
No, that's tier 1. You can get tier 1 engineers can build more than a tier 1 commander, but once you start upgrading your commander, it allows him to do the same thing as an engineer. And it doesn't, like Planetary Annihilation, it doesn't matter so much if you run the negative, it just means things will be slower.
Yeah, it's just... So this is, like, exactly like...
Yeah, it's pretty close to what Planetary Annihilation is, but Planetary Annihilations are quicker. It's a lot quicker in how you, in everything. This is a bit more slow, and you can build stronger defenses than in Planetary Annihilation. Because you got shield generators, more flak, SAM sites, a whole lot more. Because originally I
can't move my commander when that's being upgraded. Okay.
Nah. So you want to make sure you're you're either near defenses or in the middle of your base. But he can still attack enemy units while he's in being upgraded. He can still attack, which is somewhat useful. Also, if you put generators, if you put factories in near resource structures like mass or energy generators, it'll reduce the required resources. So, like, if you have generators near a factory, it'll reduce the draw that factory has on your resources.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck this year.
How are you stuck?
Not stuck, but this shit's taking forever because I'm trying to do too much.
Yeah, that can be quite a problem. Trying to do too much at once. Also, in this, you can upgrade your mass extractors all the way up to tier 3, as opposed to building something on top of them, like in Planetary Annihilation. Yeah, so really, you got energy is your biggest problem in the early game. Really, mass is more of a problem because the tier 1 generators don't give you much. So you kind of want to try and expand that.
Well, I'm upgrading one of them, but because I'm upgrading him, I'm upgrading my commander, I'm building land units. Like, I'm just...
Yeah, too much at once. Yeah, because I've kind of done the same thing because I wasn't sure at how good you were at it, so I've not done the way I'd normally do. So I got like a massive drain on resources as a result. Yeah, because originally Ra was meant to be on today, and we were going to play a couple games of this. But he hasn't exactly come online. Seems I've destroyed some of your extractors that we're upgrading.
Oh, I didn't fucking... I had shit, I just didn't move it up there.
I noticed. My air scout saw. Also, air units tend to cost more energy than mass, while land units will be... Land units are about a balance. Sea units, naval units are more mass than energy.
Yeah, I'll be right back real quick.
Alright.
back.
Whatever you got going now sounds a bit loud.
Wait, what?
Well, you got something going on that sounds like a fan.
What? How did you not hear it before? It's been on. Or did I? Oh shit. Is it really that loud?
Only a little bit when you came back. Don't forget you can make air scouts and send them over my base. You can get a better look at what I'm doing. You've still got some mass that you haven't built on. That'll certainly speed things up. After this, we'll fight against some AI if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty distracted at the moment. I'm texting this person.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing it's only versus me then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you would have been like, oh, let's play against a bunch of AIs, I'd be like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. That's why I did 1 versus 1 to start with. Because I wasn't sure of your ability level. Like, I already told you what happened with Ra.
Yeah.
And then after that, we did a second game where it was 2 versus 2 again, but on a map where it was him and one AI on an island, and me and another AI on 2 different sides of the map. And I went mostly Navy and Air, and he was fighting an AI that was on normal, and that normal AI almost killed him. So I way overestimated his abilities. Way more than I thought I should have. So like I said, you should probably send an air scout over my base to see how I'm going. I sent a mosquito to your base, by the way.
All my stuff I have is. Oh, my AA's dead. Womp.
Don't worry, it'll just poke you for a while. Have you built any radar with an engineer?
No, I told dude, I've been like on my phone like this whole time.
Yeah, because you need to build normal engineers to build radar. Yeah, so make sure you get some radar so you can see units coming towards you and stuff. As you get bigger, higher and higher level radar, you can see further as well. So have you got any radar yet?
Yeah, it should.
Have you looked at the mini-map at all?
No.
Hmm.
I'm sure you're about to demolish me. That's fine.
No, there's something I'm going to save up for before I do that. So I'm just going to let it sit for a little longer. I was just looking to see if you'd comment on what's surrounding your base at the moment. That's why I said, have you got a radar yet? So you could see. Just look at it as a challenge before you move out to claim the other half of the island that you haven't yet got. Also, with Tier 2, you can set landing pads for your aircraft, and they'll refuel and repair at those points, which is really useful if you've got them on patrol, because they'll use up all their fuel and then become not so effective. that anti-air defense and stuff. So are you still doing stuff over there?
Not really. Fuck.
Well, I can kind of tell by how your score hasn't gone very high.
Yeah, I've been.
Well, you could try at least a little bit.
I could.
It's not like there's much surrounding you.
It's like every time I move my whatever troops I have, you just go to the other side.
Have you got the energy to support a tier 2 radar?
Probably not.
Because when you're building and upgrading stuff, it'll tell you, if you mouse over them, it'll tell you the energy cost. Where it says yield, it's green for a plus and red for a negative yield. So if it's red, that's how much energy it'll cost you to build or upgrade it. Have you built anything in the Navy at least?
No. Dude, I told you, I've been like on my phone this whole time.
I know, I'm just...
Having an interesting conversation with someone, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Alright.
No, I know. I should have just said no, I'm busy, but...
Well, it's not like you're going to talk with them forever anyway. It just gives me time to surround you with more and more powerful stuff.
my god, that's never gonna finish.
Like I said, you need to get the energy and stuff from around your base. Make sure you get your resources before you go building things. In a few moments I'll do a nice trick and make all my units disappear from the map.
Can you cancel? What could... There we go.
You can also self-destruct something with Control K. It'll self-destruct if there's like something in your way that you don't want being there. Look, my army's disappeared from the minimap. The army that was surrounding your base is no longer there. Or is it?
I have plenty of energy, just no mass.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure you get all the mass extractors in the area.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise the AI will take them from you. Oh, I see you were trying to build a tier 2 generator there.
I was.
Yeah, you really gotta get the extractors up. Make sure you got the mass. Because energy is a lot easier to get as time goes on.
is taking quite some time.
That's because you're trying to build a tier 2 mass extractor. The higher the tier, the more it'll put a strain on your resources.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that, but
Well, you probably should have built tier 1s and then upgraded.
I have 2 Tech 2s. You probably have 8.
Well, I've started on tier 3.
How do you start on tier 3?
The same. Once you get to tier 2, you can build tier 3. You can upgrade stuff to tier 3.
Oh.
Yeah. And factories can go to tier 2 and then tier 3 as well. Don't forget you can build mass storage around an extractor.
Yeah, I still haven't found where that is.
It'll be on your commander, tier 1. It'll be where all the extractors and stuff are in tier 1. There's a mass storage and an energy storage.
There's energy storage, power generator. Oh, there it is, mass storage.
Yeah. Usually it's best to get engineers to make them, especially at tier 1, where your commander builds other stuff. There's also a gateway that you can build at tier 3 that lets you bring in another additional commander units, sub-commanders. They're not as good as the main commander, but you can upgrade them to be. So they'll build just as quickly as a commander when he's at tier 3. I've got a top tier radar now so I can see what you're doing without having to use scouts to fly over.
You don't see much.
Yeah, there's not much. There's just a couple of land units there.
I'm almost done talking to this person, and we can restart, and I'll pay a little more attention.
Well, I'll just end the game by bringing in 2 of the strongest land units my faction has. I've almost got the income to build them effectively. I've also got some navy just off your waters if you haven't noticed. Just sitting in the harbour. What happened? You still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my internet got fucked up.
Yeah, something happened anyway. I've got a tier 3 spy plane now that's gonna fly around. Oh, you need to build them actually next to them. Not
Like
near
right
them.
next to them.
In the top, bottom, left and right. So they're
Okay.
actually touching. Hold on, I can give you a good example. There'll be one, I'll build one near your base. And you'll see exactly what I mean. If you have that engineer, if you click on the engineer, you'll see an icon that's three, kind of like 3 circles. That's to reclaim something and get resources from it. Just reclaim the mass storage that you're building. I'm sending an engineer to one of the resources near your base. And you can see exactly what I mean from that. Yeah, it'll just take him a little bit to fly up, get his ass over there. I see you're still building the mass storage. There's also a mass point you haven't built an extractor on. You should probably do that first. If you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still. I'm actually kind of waiting for you to just swoop in and end me.
Yeah. Well, I want you to at least try before I do that.
It's hard to try when I'm not. I can't. Okay, especially at this point, like I'm so like there's no way I'm coming back.
Yeah, but I'm not here to beat you. I'm here to try and make you better at the game.
Yeah. Artillery tactical. So are these like air staging facility? That's the landing pad you were talking about, right?
Yeah, it lets you refuel. It'll refuel and repair. So if you give like a squad of air units an attack order, when their health gets low enough, they'll return to the air staging platform, repair, refuel, and get back out into the battle. Which can be very useful if you're like doing a constant attack on an enemy. Alright, so my engineer's just outside your base, and he'll build some stuff real quick if you want to see what I mean about the mass extractors. As to how you should have them set up with storage around them. So just send your commander over to see what I've done. You still haven't built it next to it. Alright. Down to the bottom left, do you see like a little thing that's near your area?
I'm trying to figure out what is trying to. I have minus 400 mass right now, and I don't like. I'm not building anything other than this.
Is anything trying to minus 400?
Well, minus 600 now because I put my other guy on this. Like I have a building that is in construction, but I don't have anything like constructing it.
Huh, that is kind of weird. Are you sure that's not energy that's minus 400?
You are correct.
Yeah. It'll be your radar. The radar sucks. The radar sucks in 250 at tier 2. So that's probably the radar. And you don't actually have any energy generators.
I did, but you killed them.
Well, you've got one in the middle of your base. You need more than one. A tier 1 generator only gives you 20 energy. So that's probably why you're lagging. Build some generators, man.
Nah, we good.
Go send that engineer to the southeast. You'll see an mass extractor setup that you should use. And then get that engineer to capture it. By the way, you can capture stuff with engineers. So just have your engineer capture that stuff. You gonna capture the stuff?
Yeah, I was moving over there.
Yeah. So that's how it should be set up for your extractors. Because that way, when they're connected to each other, you'll see lines or something connecting to them.
Can you be in the quarters or just top right or top and bottom, left and right?
No, only top, bottom, left, and right. Because that you need to actually see the square touching. But if it's just on the corners, it won't be connected.
So could I have 2 on each side technically?
What do you mean by 2 on each side?
Because they're 2 by 2, right? So if you had that moved up one space and you put another one right below that.
I'm not sure what you mean, really. You can't chain them.
Yeah. So like, see where my engineer is on your thing?
Yeah.
That top, whatever that is, the storage. If you were to move that over by 1 grid space.
No, that doesn't connect them.
Okay.
They gotta actually be lined up.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like you can, it'll kind of work with a small thing, but it has to have like complete connection along one side. So like your 2 mass storages are like just a couple spots away from actually being connected. They're close, but not close enough. Also, I've got like a monitoring station set up just outside your base now. So I don't even need radar to see what you're doing. Or the spy plane. I can see the entire island now with vision. Send your anti-air gun, the mobile anti-air gun, just to your southeast, southwest. And you'll see a monitoring station that can see everything you're doing. You'll also not be able to see it on radar because I have a stealth field generator set up down there. So you can't see it with your units. Or with your radar. No, that's southeast. Exo. Southwest.
Oh my bad.
So just behind the mountain range is where it's set up. On the little beach just behind the mountains. Send your anti-air gun there.
Yeah, I'm just going.
Yeah. So the stealth field generator counters everything but the strongest radar. And then the strongest radar only works in a smaller ring. It's got like the top tier radar has a huge area of vision, but a smaller ring inside is called Omni Radar, which penetrates stealth fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's set up here is a two tier 2 generators, a stealth field, and a perimeter monitoring device which gives me vision. So I don't actually need radar within that vision to see what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's a Cybran only device. So you can send that guy back now. Unless you want to watch the Watcher. Yeah, I'll set up another mass extractor thing for you to claim. Also, higher tier engineers can capture stuff quicker, by the way. And you need more generators. Also, I've almost completed the 2 super units that I'm going to destroy you with.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's fine. Dude, honestly, like, I already have a much better idea of how to do things.
Yeah. You never built any navy, though.
Yeah, I know.
So if you send a unit to your west and to your south, you'll see the armies that are hidden by a mobile stealth field generator. They're the armies that were on your border that disappeared. I put them in a mobile stealth field generator.
Jesus.
So there's 2 armies sitting just outside your base the whole time.
Find this better than
Planetary Annihilation?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's more complex and there's multiple armies with different skins and stuff and small differences between them. I just enjoy it more. There's also a lot more defensive options and stuff as well, which just makes it more interesting overall. Because you can just do a whole lot more in this than you can Planetary Annihilation. So I've almost just finished the second one that'll come from your south. I've already got one set up on your west. So this other one will come from the south. Too bad Ra didn't come on today. We could have done a 3v3 kind of thing. There's also a map that's a 3-person game. Although what I probably would have done is have you and Ra fight while I just sit off to kill the winner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's probably what I would have done in the end. Just to... Because since you've played enough Planetary Annihilation, you probably already know more than Ra did when I played with him before.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's kind of hard to tell, really, how good someone is at this kind of game.
Didn't really
play.
Try that. Yeah. My energy's finally +6.
Oh, well, that's nice. Probably because your radar's being destroyed.
Oh, okay.
How did your radar get destroyed?
You tell me, man. I don't know.
I haven't attacked you for ages.
Oh, you know what? I might have destroyed it because it was sucking it all down.
You know, you could have just turned off the radar. There is an option to turn it on and off.
I did not know that.
Yeah. There's an option that lets you turn radar on and off.
Alright, I'll be right back again.
Alright. My dude's about halfway to position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my 2 big units set to passive, so they're not actually going to attack you. And they got more than enough health to survive for quite a long time, if you're just shooting at them. Alright, so here's my... I'm going to send my favorite experimental into your base, while the other one gets into position to start shooting at you. This one's my favorite experimental coming into your base.
Oh, hey, cool. I see my end is coming.
Oh, by the way, it can crush stuff just by stepping on it. So let's see if I can get it to do that to the little butt that's shooting at it. It destroyed something by stepping on it.
Yeah.
Not sure what that was, since it's just a smear on the ground, quite literally. Oh, also, you'll see the other one coming from your south. There we go. Stepped on it. There. So this one's my favorite. It's called the Monkey Lord or Spiderbot. And it's got a very powerful weapon. Oh, here's the other one just to your left. To your right.
I saw both of them.
Yeah. The bigger one can actually build units. By the way, you can actually build units on the fly. So I'm gonna have it build a mobile artillery. It makes them in a little leg. Which is actually pretty cool that it can do that. I'll let your generator get built. Oh, I destroyed one of your generators. And a mass extractor, by the way. Just by stepping on it. Mobile artillery. It's gonna destroy what you've been trying to capture.
Woohoo!
Ah, no, he's gonna damage my stuff more than kill that thing. Oh look, you're shooting it.
Oh.
Look at how low
I
it's...
have energy. Now I have a bunch of energy. Yoo-hoo! Now I can build stuff.
Look at how much damage you're doing to it, though.
What damage?
Alright, so I'm going to send a whole air fleet in to attack you. And then they're going to attack you. Beam lasers! And a whole army of bombers!
Jesus. Holy shit.
Also, the biggest one survived. A nuclear detonation. You'll notice as the light dissipates, the big one only took 50% damage.
No, the big one's dead, or I just can't see it because I don't have any vision.
Ah, well. Yeah, it's still alive with 50% health. Alright, you should be able to see it now. See? Look at that. That's how strong the bigger one is.
Yeah, I figured you had like the whole fucking map of...
Yeah. Alright, I'll set up another game where it's versus AI. Oh, damn it, I went to skirmish again. Alright, so what I did while I was playing with Ra is I pretty much was all air support for whatever he was doing. Let's go with...
I didn't have many less kills than you. You only had 25 kills. I had 21. I had less losses than you.
Yeah, but then I just sent like nothing against you, really. Alright, let's go with this one. I'll try inviting you again and see what happens.